Watch these skills. Skills. I got this. Perfect. Right in its slot. Aren't I something? Welcome back to another motovlogger adventure, and today we have something quite different because sometimes I feel like I'm catering to one specific demographic when it comes to the motorcycle world, but today we have something different. It's a cruiser, and I've never done a cruiser before. This is the Vulcan Custom. It is a 900 V-twin and it is fuel injected. I got on it earlier and I was just sitting on it, and I could tell right away the seating position is quite different from what I'm used to. Right off the bat, the seat is super comfortable as well. Very, very comfortable. Like, has a really nice mean roar to it as well. So I really don't have much to say about this thing. It looks really nice. I can tell you that much. And let's go. I'm pretty psyched because I've never really had a chance to explore this, this realm before. There's always subcultures when it comes to the motorcycle world, and this is just definitely a subculture where they're extremely passionate about their bikes. And I always see these people on these types of bikes and revving their engines, and they go all out by modifying their handlebars, and so much flair, and it's all aesthetics. Everything on here is stock except for the crash cage. And there is the ignition. Here is the front. Alright, let's go. Wow, look where my feet rest as well too. It's a 5-speed. Oh wow. I can get used to this. I mean, this is super comfortable. Oh wow, okay. Like, my mind is starting to open up more. To have my feet right there, it's definitely a weird feeling, because I've never have to, usually my feet are directly under me, but now, like, my feet is back. I feel like I'm kicking back and watching some TV. That's what it feels like. A lot of stability as well, probably because the wheelbase is a lot longer than what I'm used to as well. That's probably plays a huge factor. I feel much more stable on this thing. I feel like I could crank it and go really fast and not worry about, like, it, I don't know, I guess wobbling or whatever. So today's Black Friday, and I don't know, I'm not stoked at all. Like, when the holiday season comes around, it's kind of just like any other day for me. I don't know what everyone else's opinion is, but being born and raised here, it kind of gets old. Like, the whole Black Friday deal, and Blockbuster this, Blockbuster that, come in early morning, buy this, buy that. It's just like, come on. Like, it kind of gets kind of old. It's like, okay, like, I'm sure I could find just as a good a deal any other time of the year online somewhere, but they just make it like this huge event, and people go out and spend all their money and like end up regretting it, and there's a bunch of returns later on. And I've worked in the retail industry for a little while, and it's kind of disgusting, to be honest, because it's so much revolved around this money, wealth, like physical goods, and it's just like, it's the same old story every single year. And I don't know, for me, it just kind of old. I don't know what everyone else's opinion is. Do you guys go out on Black Friday? Do you guys look forward to it and, scout out for deals to try to buy something? What I find a lot too is, like, a lot of times people don't even need anything. They just want to find an excuse to spend their money. And I just think sometimes, like, oh, they'll say things like, oh, you can't pass up this deal. Or it's like, well, you could pass it up. I mean, do you need it? A lot of people just want to get it because it's a good deal, and it's gotten to a point where it's just like, I don't know, it's just a weird feeling for me. But I mean, I can see why, you know, some people get passionate about it, you know, but like, it's just like, if you're passionate about technology, that's cool, and you're passionate all year round, regardless of what Black Friday is. But a lot of people are just passionate about, you know, what's the best deal they can find. It's not even about like what they're buying actually. It's just let me see how cheap I could find it, and let me go buy it, and just scratch my friends that look how much I bought it for on Black Friday. That's what it seems like it's gotten to a point of. But yeah, enough of Black Friday. I wanted to discuss cruisers. I mean, what is everyone's opinions about cruisers? I think that they're very, very comfortable to ride, and I just think that as you get older, I can see why, like, some people who are much older and kind of already gone through a lot of hardships in their life, and they don't want anything to scare them, or they're not really looking for something, you know, with performance. They're just looking for something just to get their mind off things, kick back, relax, and enjoy the wind, you know, enjoy the fresh air, and really get their mind off things. I think that's what really they're aiming for. And before, when I first got into motorcycles, I never understood it. Like, I never got it. I'm like, why would someone buy a cruiser, you know? Like, why wouldn't you just spend the extra money, or just the same amount of money, and get yourself a super sport, you know? But now I get it, because like, now that I'm getting older, and I can see why it's such a huge appeal, you know, to actually buy a bike that's you know, similar to this, where you can just kick back, relax, look where my feet is, you know, and just not worry about a thing. Whereas you're on a super sport, you know, your legs are directly under you, and you're leaning back, and you can have some shoulder strain, and you could have some elbow strain, and, you know, if you don't sit properly, and then the seat is all hard, and you probably wouldn't get as many. You probably couldn't go on longer trips on it without feeling uncomfortable. But with this bad boy, you could definitely just like zone out and not worry about the comfort, and, you know, still have some power in your hands as well. You know, you know, it's kind of good and bad that I'm kind of opening my mind up to so many different motorcycles, because before I had such a very narrow approach to it, very linear, and I had like tunnel vision. I was like, no, sport bikes is the way to go. You know, you know, they look awesome. You look like a really macho man guy, and you look really macho on it, and it goes fast, and it's, you know, and that's it. But now that I'm kind of opening my mind to motorcycles, and I'm riding different motorcycles, and I'm kind of seeing, you know, the justification behind certain bikes, it's kind of like, well, okay, this isn't so bad. I get it now. I get it. And then it's kind of like, I feel like when it's time for me to actually buy a bike for myself, it's kind of gonna mess me up, because it's gonna be like, oh, wait a minute. Rather than saying, do I want a Ninja or a R6, it's like, well, do I want a cruiser? Do I want a dual sport? Do I want a sport bike? You start thinking in a different way in terms of what you actually want, rather than thinking, okay, what different type of sport bike do I want, or how many seats do I want? It's like, which type of bike do I want? Do I want a dual sport? Do I want a standard bike? So there's many different things to think about as you progress. All right, back at my elementary school, I wanted to take a break here and just take some pictures for the Instagrams. Follow me on Instagram. I have a lot of pictures on there of different bikes, and sometimes I post like little short clips, because, you know, Instagram has a limit now where, and you can see this down here, because Instagram now has like a you know, the 1 minute time limit. So it's usually if I'm not finished editing something, or if I want someone's opinion on some things, I'll post like a short 1 minute video on there of like what to come, or maybe I put like something like throwback, or I might even upload something on there that's not even uploaded on my channel either. So, you know, it's weird, because like I have people who have the patience for Instagram, but don't have the patience for the YouTube, and they're like, well, I don't want to watch a 10-minute video on YouTube. I'd rather just watch something quick on your Instagram and just get straight to the point. Let me see what you're riding, and that's all. And that's cool too. That's what I usually do. I usually take little snippets of my motovlogs, and I put them on there. So a lot of interesting photos there as well. So if you guys want to check out my Instagram is right here. I wanted to ask you guys if you have seen the progression I've made in terms of the rider skill over time, because I definitely feel like my skill has improved over the time of my Yemen videos. There's definitely a huge difference. I actually see it and feel it, because before, if you notice in my videos in terms of Yemen, I was very hesitant in terms of lane splitting and going in between cars, and I wouldn't take a lot of risks, and I would really try to stick with traffic. But as time went on, and in the next Yemen video, you'll see me, you know, just flowing right through the traffic, like slicing and dicing, like through cars and taking risks. And it's not like risks that you might think, I mean, on screen it might seem to you as reckless, but for me it's such a calculated risk that I take when I'm going in between the cars and the buses in Yemen and trying to avoid certain sticky situations. I mean, there's a reason behind every move now, where before I felt like I was just trying to imitate the locals, but now it's gotten to a point where I am literally, you know, making every move, and it's calculated, and it's technical, and it's methodical. I just feel like, yes, like I feel like I've accomplished something in my life. That's what it feels like when I go back and watch those Yemen videos. You know, I just like, okay, I went to Yemen, I might have gotten sick, and I might have, you know, had a horrible time, but I've conquered those streets. You know, not a lot of people can say that. You know, I went to a foreign country, and I drove on their streets and in their traffic patterns, and I drove like them, and I did it, you know, and that's what kind of feels like. But when you go to like a sophisticated country and well-organized country, maybe in Europe or in America, Australia, or Canada, wherever it may be, and it's just red light, green light, stay in your lane signal, it's like, all right, you know, anyone can do that. You know, anyone can go to school and just, you know, take the driver's test. But can you imagine like a driver's ed for Yemen? Like, what are they gonna tell you? Like, this is how you dodge and weave. You know, lean your bike this way, your white gotta be this way. You know, how many different type of predicaments have you seen me in Yemen where it's like, that's the thing about Yemen, when you're in that traffic pattern, every single type of predicament that you're in is so unique. You know, it's like so difficult for those situations to be replicated anywhere else, you know, other than Yemen. First gear, second gear, third, fourth, fifth. Yeah, that's a nice bike. This is a very, very comfortable bike. Would I, this is the question I always ask myself after every test ride. Would I buy this? Would I own it? Would you consider this as one of your bikes in the garage? I think that my opinion is slightly changing over time now that I'm riding different motorcycles. As a motorcycle fan now, at this point, now that I've ridden a lot of different types of motorcycles, I would take anything with two wheels. I'm what's that word called? I'm contradicting myself from what I've said in my previous videos, but now I would definitely say that anything with two wheels, I'll take it. This thing, it looks nice, it's comfortable, lots of power, long wheelbase, very stable, extremely comfortable. So yeah, I'd admit, I would keep it. Thank you all for sticking around. It is Black Friday. It is November the 25th, and it is around maybe 45 or 50 degrees, but when you don't fight the cold and you just accept it, it's kind of a soothing feeling, you know. It soothes your muscles and it really relaxes your body. But when you fight it and you shiver, that's when you don't want to, that's where it gets dangerous. So tip for people that ride in the cold, just accept it. It's not that cold. Just accept it. It's all mental. It's all mental. Have a good one. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. Thank you, Power Sports East.